Update 1.19, Master Prestige rewards are finally here, and that's what we'll focus on first. Let us dive in and look through everything they added, then we can talk about Days of Summer, and then finally we can discuss and decide if these rewards were worth the wait, as they have been promising. It is the end of July after all. Several months have gone by with them saying they're working on it and that they recognize the amount of time people put in and want to reward that, so naturally expectations were high. Well, first of all, if you were wondering, nothing came up when I hit level 800. I was prepared at level 799 right before the update, but didn't see anything happen there. Well, let's go through those prestige outfits and camos. There are 6 camos and 10 uniforms. Unfortunately for me, after restarting, it only unlocked my highest level camo and outfit. I tried ranking up, waiting in the HQ like they told people to do, restarting a bunch, but it never corrected itself. That wouldn't usually matter, but I wanted to make this video today. I was waiting around all day for it to work. Finally gave up and got some help from Mr. Shadow Raptor, being a prestige master level 1000. Thank you so much for recording some footage of the rewards. And big thank you to Backpack Banjo, also level 1000, who I originally reached out to record the level 900 and above rewards, because I figured that would be all I needed, and I could record the rest, but it turns out the game hates me. Anyway, thank you both. At level 56, you get the Bengal Beige camo. At 100, you get the Simple Master Prestige uniform. At 200, the Dangerous Sterling camo, basically Chrome Tiger but better, and the Shimmering Shadow uniform. At 300, you get the Deadly Veteran uniform. At 400, we already knew the Reptilian Oak camo and the Woodsy Warrior uniform. At 500, you get the Living Legend uniform. At 600, also already seen, the Icy Veins camo and the Ice Cold uniform. At 700, there's the Sweat and Blood uniform. At 800, hey, this is the stuff I actually have, the Molten Magma camo and the Molten Gold uniform. Here's an example of how these camos glow in dark areas. At level 900, you get the Hotshot uniform, and at 1000, of course, the Royalty outfit and the Royalty Tiger camo. The only other reward in the game, as far as I can tell, is that people are reporting big social score increases. It sounds like 5,000 social score at every 100 level milestone, basically whenever you get a new uniform, but being at max rank, it doesn't show me how much I would have gotten. I really wish it kept counting up. I think I'd be at 350k social by now. Too bad that doesn't convert into armory credits or anything. So, I'll get to some opinions on that in a moment, but to cover the rest of this update, there are now multiple default loadout options for survivors and infected if you're a fan of that mode. That's another new thing, but mostly there's just a big list of fixes that'll be linked below if you want to read through them. Some notable ones being the fix to the shotgun on shield damage inconsistency, how shields could soak up too much shotgun damage if you hit both the player and the shield. Also a fix for stuck grenades, sometimes not killing. That had to do with how mantling affected player position. Apparently pretty complicated, so it took them a while to find it, and the invisible legs in war cutscenes, that should be fixed. But of course, what wasn't fixed are the typos in the Signal Flare challenge. I have run out of jokes to make about that, just keeping you updated. Also, it looks like the social score title card was improved yet again. It has a very solid blue background now. And another thing they didn't include in the notes, the double payroll claiming bug where Master Prestiges could collect in zombies and multiplayer was finally patched. Bummer. So how about Days of Summer? I'll briefly go over that if you don't know what's going on. People were asking for it to come back from last year, and when I saw that Leprechaun teaser, I was thinking it pointed to this. And yeah, the return of the Leprechaun mode is part of this event, where you kill the zombie Leprechaun to get all your streaks right away. There's also a new standalone dogfighting mode, so if you enjoyed that in Operation Husky, or if you never played that and wanted to try it out, there you go. Personally, I find it repetitive and pretty boring, and it sounds like most people do as well, but if you're a fan, more power to you. At least in the standalone mode, the couple maps are pretty cool. There are mountains and pyramids you can fly around, and when you call in the flak streak, it isn't just death, you can move closer to the ground to avoid it. There's also the new free sandbox map set right here in the headquarters, but it is only on PS4 for 30 days. So what the hell, you won't be able to play this during the event on any other console. I don't know why they couldn't do what they did with Shipment, where season pass holders got it like 2 days early, and then everybody had it for free. Apparently Sony got mad about that, I don't know, but now any map, even a free one, is considered part of a DLC pack that has to be on PS4 first. So sorry about that. If it makes you feel better, I'm not in love with the map. Very funny theme, but you can catch me back on Shipment. Anyway, it is a literal sandbox where you play as mini green and gray army men, kind of reminiscent of that Black Ops 3 picnic map since you have been shrunk down, and Captain Butcher will be occasionally burning tiny parts of the map with a magnifying glass, like the mirror killstreak from that solar map in Advanced Warfare. Unfortunately, Mainly it is just kind of random and isn't a special map kill streak or anything, and it doesn't really have a big effect on the gameplay. You've also got 3 new weapons, the Ribeyrolles SMG, the 3-line sniper, or the Mosin Nagant, which is in the Operation Overlord collections, meaning not limited time, and the Automaton, being the Fedorov Avtomat. And of course, tons of camos and junk in there too. That means everyone is opening drops right now, so as usual, it's a great time to hang out in the HQ. There's also a new community challenge. Does anybody pay attention to those things? I don't understand the point of them. I always assume that they're rigged anyway and just play the game normally. Oh well, that's a brief overview of the event, and Days of Summer is also active in the older games as well, BO3, Infinite Warfare, MWR, so hop in and give it a go if you're interested. That's all for the updates. Now, finally, how about we actually discuss those Master Prestige rewards? Really just some uniforms and camos. To start positive, with it looking like I could very well end up making the push to level 1000, it's nice to have an extra thing to look forward to, and I don't think there has to be that much for it to feel worthwhile. Level 1000 is supposed to be above and beyond, intended for the very dedicated, but with them waiting so long to release everything, and making big promises that it wouldn't be disappointing, not that I believed that, but it would be hard for anything they did to have exceeded expectations, and with only some extra uniforms and camos, it's really late in the life cycle for me to think that's a big deal. I know a lot of people were hoping on things like continuing to earn supply drops every 5 levels, which honestly would not even be that much. That's only a total of 189 extra rare drops after getting all the way to level 1000. You earn a lot more than that just from playing the game and the orders and the contracts. So why wouldn't they do that? It would be a nice gesture to get a lot of people on their side. If you want my conspiracy theory, maybe they do plan on giving that to people, but they didn't want to dump a bunch of drops on people right when the event started, because there would be less reason to grind out the event or buy drops to finish collections. So maybe right after the event they'll make that happen if there's more complaining about it. But other MP ideas, maybe unlocking unique variants as you go, or maybe earning some sort of unlock token to directly unlock a few specific heroic variants that you've been wanting and have been unable to get. All things they could have thrown in there to make people happier with this update. Even some features like customizing your prestige icon with the art from previous games. We've seen that many times before. It's a small thing, but it's cool to pick your prestige icon, and implementing stuff like that would involve a new UI and a menu. If they added more features like that, I could buy it having taken this long to implement, but they just added some customization that already exists. I get that designing the uniforms would take some time, but months of making big promises? Really? If I were to spitball a couple things I would like to add, well, first of all, I'd like to see something for that reticle mastery, seeing as it is a rather massive hidden challenge in the game. I know most people wouldn't care about that, but something for doing it would be appreciated, even if just a calling card. To throw an idea out there as a new little customization option, how about some more capes? I think we can all agree capes are pretty badass, and we've started to see them come to multiplayer in some of the Cavalry Division uniforms and the Slayer outfit from Zombies, so they've had the cape physics there from the beginning, and if they're designed well, I think some good-looking capes would be cooler than any of the uniforms or camos they can offer. Imagine if they were awarded for completing certain areas of the game, whether that be 100% challenge completion, doing reticle mastery, max social rank, or earning Chrome Tiger. Hell, when you get the camo, why not give people a Chrome Tiger cape at the same time? Especially if you're going to make it completely obsolete with animated supply drop camos and Master Prestige camos. That's something I mentioned in that most recent Q&A, right after the very first camo tease, how I don't want a camo as a level reward. The reason I did the entire Chrome Tiger grind was because I wanted to earn the most prestigious camo there is. You could argue that design-wise I'd already got beat out by some of the supply drop camos, which is a little sad, but I don't really care about that because I still like to show off the amount of time I've wasted earning it regardless. But when you add some undeniably fancier camos for an unrelated completionist reward, like reaching Master Prestige milestones, now I'm torn. The animated tiger stuff is cool. The prestige camos look better. But there's already a big number next to my name, so I kinda want to stick with Chrome Tiger to feel like I didn't waste my time on it, and to show that I used all the guns extensively. I didn't just try hard to 1000 with the PPSH. This must sound very petty and nitpicky, like I have to be able to show off everything I've done. I understand maybe most people don't care about it at all, I get that, but that's what we're doing here, we're nitpicking, and I think this is what's important to think about when you're trying to reward the people who grind. You don't add something that makes a big part of that grind feel obsolete, and makes you feel like you wasted your time. That's the opposite of what you should be doing. Anyway, to bring it back, I was joking when I said we could all agree that capes are badass. Half of you might think that sounds dumb and horrible. Personally, I would like them, but maybe it's crazy to think that anyone would grind for countless hours for a cape. You could call them capes of distinction, capes of accomplishment perhaps. It's an original idea, I promise. But even if capes are not involved, that is the main design philosophy I wish I could impart. If somebody has completed a big, grindy achievement, whether that be Chrome Tiger, prestige levels, or good old reticle mastery, you should always be able to show off your highest level of accomplishment all at the same time. You shouldn't have to pick between them. Like maybe there could be an overall mastery outfit made up of a camo, a uniform, a face paint, a charm, and a cape or whatever, and you could get all the different components of that outfit by finishing those different completionist goals, so you can show off how much you've done. Kind of like how you got pieces of that Advanced Warfare Gold outfit, except that was only for camo categories. You could either have something like that, or if you're going with a tiered system, just don't have two parallel mastery camos, if that makes sense. If the top reward is a fancy animated camo, then the previous top camo, Chrome Tiger, should be a prerequisite to unlock it. There should be one best camo that looks the best and encompasses everything you have accomplished so far, so you can use that one thing and feel like a badass. Again, I think I'm sounding very petty. I assure you I don't actually care that much about this, since if I hit level 1000, I imagine I won't be playing nearly as much after that. This is more about what I would like to see in a COD game. I think it's too late for World War II for most of this stuff, but that is my main critique of how they went about these rewards. They are largely pointless and maybe even worse than nothing from the challenge grinder perspective. Enough rambling though, you've seen the Master Prestige rewards now. How do you feel about them? I'm guessing a good chunk of people don't even play the game and never played enough to get Master Prestige and just don't care. Also a good number of people disappointed, who maybe wanted those drops every 5 levels. Whoa, big surprise, people are disappointed. Never saw that coming. You know me, my expectations are always set very low, so I'm just treating these like a little bonus. Although it is a shame this stuff wasn't there from the start, and that it took this long for only a few more outfits that I'm not even going to use. I'll just keep my cape, and then have camos that replace Chrome Tiger, so a bit of a flop on the MP rewards, big shocker there. But I guess they hoped Days of Summer would overshadow that letdown. Either way, I still feel like getting to level 1000 just to have done it. I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you next time.